Mr. Attorney General, don't ever do that again. I am reporting
what again?
what he said.
He wasn't expecting that. One senator called it looting. Another said he was acting like Trump's personal lawyer. $1.8 billion was at the center of it all.
Well, let's be clear. What we're talking about is nothing short of the sitting president of the United States looting from the Treasury for his own gain. You write the check, Trump and his cronies cash it, American taxpayers, who are already being whacked with high prices, are going to foot the bill. That's what we are seeing today, and that is what many of us are really, really angry about. The question I want you to answer is, will you apologize to the victims whose names, sensitive personal information, and even nude photos were not redacted by your department? Will you apologize to them?
Of course, that was, we never want to release a single victim's name.
That is what they are hearing.
But can I answer the question, please? Is it
I'm
fair?
asking if you'll apologize.
So
I hear your anger.
I'm not
and
angry.
No,
I'm not angry.
I hear
I'm
your
just
anger,
making sure
and I will
it's
tell you
understood
who's really
that
angry is
we
people who
matter.
had their nude photos released. I just want to hear you say, I apologize to those victims.
So, as I just said, of course, any time we release a victim's name that shouldn't be released, we have failed as a Department of Justice. And so we have to do everything that we can to not fail.
Well, I haven't heard the words, I apologize.
I'm trying to give you an explanation of what happened. I don't think...
Then the hearing got personal.
You had an opportunity to go down and talk to Ghislaine Maxwell. And then a few days later, she was transferred from a high security prison to a very comfortable,
I mean, that's
very comfortable.
It's just not true. She was not in a high security prison.
Why did he send you down to talk to her?
He didn't send me. I went. What do you mean? You think President Trump called and asked me to go interview a witness in federal prison? Honestly?
Yes, I do, frankly.
Well,
because you know why?
He didn't.
Because the deal was in. He needed somebody he could rely. He needed somebody he could rely upon to talk to her and say, what would she say if she was asked about Jeffrey Epstein? And you were the perfect choice. And you went down there, and suddenly, shazam! You know, this whole hearing, I think, is exposing something, which is to me very frightening. You're a very gifted lawyer, but from my perspective, you have very little faith to the Constitution and the people of America, and you're the president's consigliere.
Your perspective is completely wrong, Senator,
well,
respectfully.
I think the facts will prove me right. Thank you.
Then he read the police report.
I'm going to read from you, Mr. Attorney General, an affidavit from the Hernando County, Florida Sheriff's Office. And I want you to listen carefully to what this police officer said, criminal named Andrew, pardoned by the president. He says, Andrew also told that since he was pardoned for storming the Capitol on January 6, 2021, and he was being awarded $10 million as a result of being a January 6er, Andrew did tell that he would be putting him in his will, referring to one of the victims of his molestation. He would be putting him in his will to take any money he had left over. This tactic was believed to be used to keep from exposing what Andrew had done to him. And you're telling me you don't know about all these people who have been signaled by the President of the United States and others that they're going to get payments?
I think that that's what you just read is disgusting. It's horrible that that happened, but that's not what I said.
You can't tell us today that this individual would not be eligible for a payout from this fund. I find that obscene. Will you agree, as they did in that case, that before you proceed with this fund, a federal judge will sign off and approve it? Will you agree to that?
Federal judge. So there's no mechanism.
Actually, there is a federal judge presiding over this case.
The case was dismissed by the judge last night.
Yeah, because you moved to create this fund.
I didn't move. I did not move. I'm the acting attorney general, okay? The fact that I used to be President Trump's lawyer is just a fact, but I'm the acting attorney general. So don't say the president's former personal lawyer will do something. The acting attorney general will do something.
Mr. Attorney General, you are acting today like the president's personal attorney, and that's the whole problem. You've got you have a whole banner of his face hanging over the Department of Justice, and you and everybody else walks under it, and you are acting like you're his current personal attorney.
The question wasn't whether they disagreed. It was who the DOJ was really working for. Who was he really defending?